Alright, man, we back. Once again, I got the motherfucking mic on the floor. Always something when you touching and speaking on the truth. The truth, man. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me make sure everything going straight. Give me a minute. Make sure everything good. Yeah, it's always some shit when you speaking real shit, man. That's going down that way, man. But it is what it is. It is what it is. My regular shit crashing again. I view it at, man. But hey, it is what it is. Rather was the leathers. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to press the attack because they pressed the attack on Anthony Joshua. They pressed the attack on Terrence Crawford for no apparent reason. And for people Vincent Latour salute and people that's trying to play that black power card. I ain't really trying to hear it, to be honest. I'm not trying to hear that black power stuff. After the way the black box community turned its back on Keith Thurman for Manny Pacquiao, it could have been versus anybody but fucking Manny Pacquiao. Just knowing the history that Pacquiao had. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, or video request. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the videos, all that good stuff, man. But like I said before, man, about this whole situation with Pacquiao, with Errol Spence, and what Errol Spence said, Ricky E. Salute. What Errol Spence said was basically that he wanted to fight. You go to my Instagram, Words on Fight. How I did a video on it the other day. He went to he told Fight Hype, this was before Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. He didn't know who was gonna win, but we now know it's Keith Thurman. We know it's Manny Pacquiao that won. He said that, I'm gonna tell them let me fight Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna fight Terrence Crawford, and then that should give me the Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, at the end of the day, everybody been screaming. First the excuse was Terrence Crawford need to get a belt. Then the excuse turned to Terrence Crawford is too small for Errol Spence, right? Now the excuse is that he on the wrong side of the street, and now they pulling up receipts and they pulling up old bones in the elephant graveyard of Bob Arum. And we understand it's a lawsuit that Bob Arum had against Al Heyman. We clearly understand that, but it didn't stop them from making fights in the process. It didn't stop from Lomachenko coming over there winning the belt versus a vacant belt versus Gary Russell. It didn't stop who else it did? It didn't stop Vanes Monterosian from coming over to Golden Boy and fighting Erislandy Lara. And then stop John Molina and Felix Diaz jumping ship and fighting Terrence Crawford. It didn't stop them from making the Deontay Wilder and Fury 2 fight. And Bob Arum, he cut himself in on that fight. So it didn't stop those fights. You know what I'm saying? It didn't stop those fights. So at the end of the day, I don't really understand the side of the street thing. What's the best benefit on being on the right side of the promotional street, or being on the right side of the PBC street on PBC, Fox, whatever it is? What's the point of being on the right side of the street if you still can't get the fights you need to get? And people excuses gonna come in and say, well, Bob Arum can't make them sign. Al Heyman can't make them sign to fight Errol Spence. Then what's the point of me being with PBC if I still got to sit there and struggle? They overcompensate me financially not to get the fights that I want to get. Then what's the point of me signing over there? I don't get the point of it. If I can't have the biggest perk is me being able to get the best fights. Or that might be the second biggest perk for some people. And the second biggest perks for me, first biggest perk probably be get as much money as I can. I want to get as much money as I can. Then I want to be able to have the fights accessible to me. And at the end of the day, that's what the excuse was. It went from, oh, he ain't got a belt. Oh, he too small. Oh, he can't, now it's, oh, he on the wrong side. Errol Spence on the right side of the street, but he's using a top-ranked fighter as leverage to get a Pacquiao fight. And you see Mikey Garcia is starting to position himself to get a Manny Pacquiao fight. Pay attention. Mikey Garcia came out and said, oh, I'm going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Al Heyman going to make it happen. He'd get a Pacquiao fight if he truly wanted to before Errol Spence do. If he fight Danny Garcia and the winner's promised a Pacquiao fight, then what Errol Spence do? Then it's a ton of pressure for you to fight another title holder. They can dress it up and call the IBF and tell them to order a mandatory. But really, Errol Spence, do you really want to waste the camp cutting down weight to fight a mandatory? You know? Do you want to really waste your time fighting a mandatory? And then the pressure is gonna be on like, okay, Manny Pacquiao fighting the winner of Mikey Danny. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's a hypothetical. All right, then what Errol Spence gonna do? He gonna jump up fight J Rock? He gonna avoid Terrence Crawford like the plague? But he did say I don't see myself leaving the division without fighting Terrence Crawford. But then again, that could be window dressing. That could just be shit to calm people's voice down. He can get away with anything he want to get away with. Now, I don't think nobody did that, Don Banks. He can get away with everyone get away with, man. But all I'm saying is, since everybody got to be on the same side street, and I agree, a black fighter, I think every fighter should have an advisor like Al Heyman. But on the surface, that's all I do know. I don't know about the contracts. I just know a lot of people are financially happy. People that left Al Heyman are not as financially happy like Vanes Martirosyan. I believe that is the place for fighters. But everybody can't be on one side of the street, then that's a monopoly. Everybody can't compete on Premier Boxing Champions. But it wouldn't be necessarily the need to do so if everybody worked together and made the fights. Corey Lee, salute. You know, it necessarily it wouldn't be that situation, bro. It wouldn't be that if these dudes work together. Oh yeah, you know, Corey Lee, I do a little something. I do a little something. All I'm saying is this: why is Errol Spence now using Terrence Crawford's name to get a Pacquiao fight? He said it. Y'all want to say he was drunk Spence, tired Spence, sleepy Spence, Jigglypuff Spence, sleep apnea Spence, Ambien Spence, Advil, Tylenol, Benadryl, NyQuil, Errol Spence, whatever y'all moniker y'all want to get a nigga for this interview. Whatever moniker y'all want to give him for this interview. You know, and I'm going to drop it in the description. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can find it. But I got it on my gram, that part. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Hold on. Chess player Spence, whatever they want to call him. Businessman Spence. It's the first like 33 seconds and 40 seconds of the interview. Yeah, my internet I think was messed up. I had to refresh it. Every now and again, you gotta refresh motherfucking Comcast shit or Xfinity. Keith Thurman's content, and I fucking really don't like that about him. I mean, shit, you know. It is what it is, you know. He can't say what he want to say because they all been told not to point out the obvious about Manny Pacquiao. But Teddy Atlas and who else? Teddy Atlas and Eddie Hearn pointed it out. Teddy Atlas and them, they pointed it out, but at the same time, you know, I just look at like now, like I just look at that stooping to I see that stooping to like the slum level. Like that tell me about Errol Spence that he is slum to do anything. Like he was a little bit too honest there. Like, you know, I'm gonna ask them to let me fight let you fight Terrence Crawford. And I'm gonna do exactly what I did the other video. He said, let me fight Terrence Crawford. And then he said, I'm gonna fight Terrence Crawford. They're gonna give me the Pacquiao fight. And that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Keep that behind closed doors. That would be don't be so open and forefront and bringing information. Don't let them know your plan before you execute it. What Mr. T say? He said you got dream killers out here. People that you tell your dreams, your plan to, and they think it's to kill it. You never let people know your plan. Especially if it's a very important plan. You got a plan to buy some real estate. You got a plan to go to the NFL, or you got a plan to go to being secret and privacy is at a premium right now. Privacy, what's up, Sean? I see you. Errol Spence going to fight Crawford. It might seem like it. He might have to. It might be the only fight that's available to him. But then again, he can finesse his way out of that and fight J-Rock if he get past Jared Hurd on his pay-per-view they may be about to do. You know? But all I'm saying is he needs a better publicist. He needs a PR team. Whatever money that he got, the little money that he got, he needs to take that money that he got saved up or he just played with, maybe jewelry. Hire you a publicist, man. Real talk. Hire you a publicist. Hire you a PR person that writes you statements, that shows you how to handle interviews and stuff of that nature, because that's not just me. What I'm doing, kind of like just hovering over what he's saying, that's small potatoes. That's small potatoes. Jerry James says, if you was a fighter, who'd you sign? Al all day. Don't get it twisted. Unless somebody had a hell of a deal. Don't get it twisted. I say that all the time. If they had a hell of a deal for a nigga, unless somebody had a hell of a guarantee, that guarantee Bob be kicking out, that $250,000 he be giving niggas, that ain't enough. But you never tell people your plan. You think PBC officials didn't see that? You think Ellie Sackback didn't send that to somebody else? You think they watch the videos? You think somebody didn't see that? Oh, this nigga he gonna try to leverage us? Oh, we gonna rob him versus Sean Porter. Or we gonna try to get him first, Sean Porter. He already plotting on trying to leave. He already trying to leverage us. He already not a PBC favorite. I don't know what he did not to be a Premier Boxing Champion favorite. I don't know what he done not to be in the loop over there. To be honest, I don't know what he done. I don't know why they don't like him. I don't know. I don't know why they prefer Keith Thurman. I don't understand why Manny Pacquiao, they very same nemesis. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they Mad Dog A Salute. I don't know why they very same nemesis and Manny Pacquiao who smeared Mayweather's name, and Mayweather was the foundation of PBC. And you got to get Oscar De La Hoya credit. He was the foundation. They were the test run dummies for Premier Boxing Champions. His working relationship on a fight-by-fight deal with Floyd Mayweather is what kind of that was PBC. It was the creative idea of it. And when Oscar De La Hoya wouldn't sell Premier Boxing Champions after he got caught, playing with kitchen utensils and fishnets, and they tried to buy it before the Canelo fight, right around he fought Canelo and Floyd fought, he didn't sell it. The very next year, Richard Schaefer was in 2014, started running out Danny Garcia fights, running out Leo Santa Cruz. He ran out everybody contract under Golden Boy while Oscar De La Hoya was in rehabilitation. So when Oscar De La Hoya got out, he didn't have no fighters left. He went to court, tried to sue Al. He lost that lawsuit. They end up appealing, or whatever happened. They made a deal. Some fighters went back to Golden Boy. Leo Santa Cruz was one. Lucas Matisse was one. Can't remember all of them, but that's the Oscar De La Hoya. Say what you want to say about Oscar. Oscar can fucking fight. Oscar can fight, but Oscar De La Hoya paved the way for Man Down Promotions, Lions Only. He paved the way for Mayweather Promotions. He paved the way for what Al Heyman is doing. Oscar De La Hoya, wasn't he the first fighter to actually own his own promotional company, a functional running promotional company? Now you had fighters win Manager of the Year. You had George Foreman, active fighter that won Manager of the Year. Bernard Hopkins, active fighter that was also Manager of the Year, that managed their careers and still was fighting and got that award. You know what I'm saying? But what Al Heyman, what Floyd did, he couldn't have done it without Oscar De La Hoya. Period. What Al Heyman did, he couldn't have done it without Oscar De La Hoya chasing the trailblazer. And I don't want to say I would hate to give Oscar credit, but without Oscar, he couldn't. And then Al Heyman, without his ingredients being there, his business mind, it couldn't have been done. Without Floyd's talent and amazing vocal and talking shit, all those are responsible for the birth of Premier Boxing Champions. Not just the idea of it. Somebody say, you know what Floyd doing? We could take 100 fighters and do the same thing. Now, that was somebody who took an idea and took it to the next level. Sometimes you might have an idea, or, you may have an idea, right? Or you may be doing something, but you don't know it can go to the next level. You feel what I'm saying? You could be making lemonade in your kitchen and shit, and some homemade lemonade. Your niggas come up like, damn, man, this shit good as fuck. You know what? Hey, man, every time you come up, you make that lemonade. You start selling that, packaging that up, selling it. All right, you got the product. You feel me? You got the skill. But your boy had the idea, and maybe your other boy got the business mind to make it happen and distribute it and hash out the deal. So everybody brings something to the table. What they was doing with Floyd, that may not been Al Heyman's idea to do that with 100 fighters. It may been Sam Watson's idea, like, hey, what you doing with Floyd? Hey, you can run out the contracts since Oscar don't want to sell Golden Boy. You don't need a promoter. You can run out the contracts. You can create this PBC television series. You can run a managerial company, and you could do it that way. Even though they was already running the idea, somebody else might have said, hey, you can do that with 100 fighters. So their imprint is on Premier Boxing Champ. And it might have been Al Heyman that had the idea. It might have been Floyd. It might have been Leonard Ellaby. It might have been Tim Smith, Tim Shaw, Sam Watson. It might have been somebody else that had the idea. Don't nobody in the world got every idea. It don't happen. It might be somebody on the sideline that Al might just have a brew with every now and again when it's homeboys. Hey, I do that with 100 fighters. Why not? That's the point of surrounding yourself with people that you can delegate to and help take. That's why you surround yourself with the right people. You heard Floyd said it cost me $750 to buy myself out of then. I made $750 million next 3 fights. It was a sacrifice. James Prince helped him get out that contract. They said that was James Prince. See, even if Tank said he wanted Gary Russell next, will Mayweather make it happen? No, I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, but I think he can win. That's a winnable fight. I think they could rob Errol just to kill the Crawford fight, since the only one who willing to fight him is he willing to fight Bud. And I'm telling you, that's why you got to play that shit close to the chest. You can't be threatening them. You can't be threatening them. And this is before I got cut off the first time we went live. You can't be threatening these people, man. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna go through these comments real quick. He says here, you want that Crawford deal 3.5. I mean, at the end of the day, rain, sleet, snow, sunny, he get that 3.5 and he get a promotional cut. So he ain't too snabby. You know, every time he go out there and get knocked out by a no name, and he got 7 fights for 3.5 left, and he get a promotional cut. Just like Errol Spence get an imprint promotional cut. You know what I'm saying? And then when he retired, he could work for ESPN. You never know what type of deal they got behind the table for him. You know, it's a reason he's staying there. Errol might be next boxer to get humbled by Al. I was just speaking on you, bro, when you said that about the Charlo twins. Wood, y'all check his new channel at Wood Stay Real TV. He was the first person to point that shit out from the Charlos. I gave him credit from the very beginning. Look, Al Heyman humbled Jermell Charlo because he could have easily, if Jamal Charlo was the one talking shit, you could have easily scored that fight for Matt Korbach. If you pay attention, Jamal Charlo, it ain't the villain. Jamal Charlo is pretty cool. You know, he pretty much down to earth and he's solid. You don't really get out of character a lot. Jamal Charlo did turn the Charlos into the villain, but it wasn't what people made it seem. What had happened was this, and I hate to keep going back to this, but a lot of people need to know this. Jamal Charlo had a fight with J-Rock, right? For whatever reason, Charlo was trying to put the fight off. All right. You know, and Stephen Bredman and J-Rock accused Charlo trying to flush his system out with roids. Now, a lot of people wouldn't pay attention to this because it wasn't, even though I think it was a main event, it wasn't a mainstream fight. It kind of reminded you of like Danny Garcia and Kendall Holt, where Angel Garcia was talking shit crazy to Kendall Holt, but it really didn't get mainstream like that because it wasn't a big fight. It was on the pay-per-view undercard, but This one just didn't get a lot of publicity, and J-Rock was just woofing the whole time. And what had happened was the IBF gave Jamal Charlo a medical exception for LASIK eye surgery. It was determined that he was illegally blind, and he was legally blind. Excuse me, he was legally blind, and he got a medical exception. And also, he didn't know if he could make the weight no more. And J-Rock and his coach Steven Bradman, once again, this is where that steroid shit in the South, with Texas, started. They were saying that he was flushing roids because he refused to do VADA testing. He the champion. At the end of the day, if he didn't want to do VADA testing, he didn't want to do it. Y'all didn't have to take the fight. Y'all could have took another road. Y'all could have preserved y'all O and fought somebody else for the belt. But they sat there, they talked all this shit the whole fight, and it was an opportunity that he was going to drop that belt. He was going to drop that belt, and because he couldn't make the weight no more. But he stayed there. He got motivated, and he ended up knocking him down with a jab. And J-Rock had a really good fight, and then he got dropped by 1 in 1 million punch, and then he ended up getting stopped. And then at the end of the fight, J-Rock wanted to apologize, and Charlos was like, well, Jamal in particular was like, no, nigga. No, I'm after all that shit you talk. Like sometimes when it get to a point where you getting personal and you label me a steroid user and you don't have no real proof, when you get me labeled that, and that's something that's carried on and rubbed off from that carried with the Charlos, and it's rubbed off to Errol Spence, and it's rubbed off to other Texas fighters and fighters of the South because of the envy of people out east. When you started that, man, ain't no second chances. Every time I would see J-Rock, I would smack him in his mouth, and his coach in his mouth. And if I was the Charlos, every time I would see them, I would smack them because they started that. And then they want to shake hands after the fight after you done got personal. You just got personal. This just wasn't no build the fight up talk. You got personal. And then basically he pushed the nigga like, man, get the fuck up out my corner. I ain't fucking with you. And then the whole arena started booing Charlos, and then that's how they really became villains. He said Spence didn't take the money from Errol coming out the Olympics. I think it was $250K. That's what he got David Benavidez with. Broner walked away from it too. Only path I see if Al Hammond got a plan to get Bud when his contract is up next year, then they will make the Bud and Errol fight. I think that might be it. But at the same time, like what do they benefit from Terrence Bud Crawford? Where do they benefit from Crawford coming over there, beating Errol? What's the benefit? Because Errol is the guy that can go up to 140. Errol is the guy that can go to 160, and perhaps a lot of y'all believe can beat Canelo one day. He the guy that can move up 2 weight classes. So Terrence Crawford, this is his last weight class. He about 3 years older, about to be 3 years older than Errol Spence, I believe. So really, he already at his ceiling. What are you gonna just do? Beat up Jose, Regis, Taylor, Jaron Ennis, Connor Ben, Josh Kelly? What are you gonna do? Is beat those guys up? Errol Spence got the potential to move up to 54, unify 54, move up, fight Canelo, and really bring the bacon home for PBC. But really, I understand where they don't want Bob to make money, but Bob cut himself in the Fury fight, the Wilder fight. He says, yeah, even if Tank said okay, I read that one. Cordy Richardson, salute. He said, you heard Floyd? Yeah, I said, I read that one. I'm coming back down. So is that 750K? Hell no, it ain't 750K to get Crawford. It depends on what point Floyd was at that contract. But James Prince worked that out for him. It's an interview somewhere that James Prince, Gerard Peterson, salute. Jamal don't talk much. He laid back, but he got that serious. And what they did you gotta pay attention, man. PBC, man. Al Heyman from Ohio, if y'all didn't know that shit. Mark Columbus, what's going on, Columbus Mark? He from Ohio. He from Ohio. So you notice how Adrian Broner, he gonna get another title shot if he can beat Reddick. Watch. After they unify 140, he gonna sign and get another title shot. If he win, he win. He don't. Okay. Yeah, my stream went offline. My internet, I think it was. But if you win, he don't. But he makes sure Robinson Jr. good. He makes sure all them niggas from Ohio, Rasheed Warren, keep getting shots. And I ain't got no problem, with it, whatever it may be. But he don't treat the Ohio guys the same as he treat the Texas guys. He don't. And hey, look here, I ain't complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get that same treatment. They don't. Jermell Charlo got humbled for being too outlandish, to being too boastful, for being too proud, for being too vicious, for being just unapproachable, too angry. That loss to Tony Harrison, man. That toss to Tony Harrison, that was a warning shot. That was a shot to humble him. That was a warning shot. You know? That was a warning shot. And I don't know, you like, how's a loss a warning shot? Well, it was a warning shot. Then he get to talking shit at his brother press conference. They turned the microphone off. They turned the microphone off on him. So he cruising for a bruising. And I ain't talking about in the ring. He cruising for another loss. But with Errol Spence, that's a threat made to Premier Boxing Champions. That's a threat. Like, if y'all don't give me Manny Pacquiao, like, I'm a force y'all to make me get him. I'm going to go and fight Terrence Crawford then. I'm going to say make the Crawford fight. And then they're going to have to give me the Manny Pacquiao fight. Then they're going to have to give me the Manny Pacquiao fight. And Al like, well, nigga, what? Like, nigga, you barely even on this ship. You ain't shit. So if I was him personally, I would be looking to knock out Sean Porter. They gonna try to slow him down. If he don't really chill out with the demands, but he 29, about to be 30, whatever he about to be. Like the nigga tired of just fighting, like, you know, he tired of fighting guys like Carlos Ocampo and Lamont Peterson, Algier. Like, dude, can you blame Errol Spence? You sitting at the dinner table, you got ham, you got turkey, you got dressing, you got macaroni and cheese. You know, you got all these different foods on the table, but they bringing you fucking coleslaw. I mean. They bringing you Bings and Franks and shit. You know what I'm saying? They bring you the bullshit. Everybody else at the table just eating the good shit. The Texas Roadhouse rolls. They eating the fried turkey leg. They eating good. And you sitting at the table eating some bullshit. I don't blame him, but I just don't think it's a good look to use the boogeyman as boogeyman Bud as collateral, or as, you know, as an advantage to try to make the Manny Pacquiao. I just don't think that's the right move. And even if that is the right move, you keep that close to the vest, but you keep it behind closed doors. But if it is some fishy shit going on with Errol Spence, and maybe it's a draw, or he loses to Sean Porter in one of the worst robberies, or close robbery, and if it's a close fight and they go to Sean Porter way, remember that interview when he tried to threaten Premier Boxing Champion, say, if they don't let me fight, I'm going to fight Terrence Crawford. They don't give me Manny Pacquiao. Don't remember that interview. Remember that interview. It may not be the Sean Porter fight. They might hook him up with somebody else. Remember that interview. You don't never tell them your best hand. You don't never tell them your plan. You don't never tell them your plan. You keep that close to the vest. He need a PR guy. Before I got cut off, I think that's what I said. Do you think Mikey is doing the same? Yes, that's what he's doing. He doing the same thing. I'm glad you made my fucking point. Mikey Garcia is leveraging Eddie Hearn. He leveraging Top Rank. He against Al Heyman to get more money versus Danny Garcia. It must be a financial thing with Danny Garcia. It must be a financial thing with Danny Garcia. He might want more money, or he want to catch weight, or he wants something in there. So if he trying to leverage, he leveraging that's what they all been doing, bro. They all been leveraging themselves, especially when Eddie Hearn say, I'm gonna go take some offer some PBC more money than ever made. Then Bob Arum say he's gonna try to take some money. They with no binding contract to keep them connected to Showtime at the time, then eventually Fox. They have to overpay these dudes to stay here. You know, and it would behoove anybody if they wasn't paying them under the table. They were paying these dudes under the table. They were passing these dudes money. If they had lawyer fees, or they owed some money, or they got low in between fights. Al Heyman was doing things for guys. I'm not gonna say that I know for sure. I'm just gonna keep it really, really broad. He was doing things for guys. That's why they love Al Heyman so much. Ray Zone 718 C4, I see you. That's why they love him so much. And do you really honestly think in the NBA, with so many high priced free agents, you think they not finding other ways where Anthony Davis was supposed to turn down that $4 or $5 million trade exception? You think they didn't pay him under the table? Where to get that money? You think they don't pay these athletes under the table, these billion dollar owners? You think they don't pay them with some stock or CD or some high interest investment account? They got other way of finessing money than them, where Uncle Sam can't account for it. They wake up and go into their living room and look under their couch or look under their vault, and it's $1 million in cash sitting in the cookies bag or a Everlast duffel bag or a Nike bag or something like that. You can't be so naive to think some of these athletes ain't getting money under the table, away from Uncle Sam. You can't be naive. I always thought that, man. The last few years, I always thought that, man. But he could be the next guy to be humble, man. And, truth be told, I don't want to see him go out like that. And that's why I'm bringing awareness to it. I don't want to see him. I want to see Errol Spence go out there, and if he gonna lose, I want to see him legitimately lose. I don't want him to go out there and be a victim like Jermell Charlo was. And Jermell Charlo will never admit it unless he on his sick bed or it's a long way out. But they humbled that boy. Wood called it. He humbled him. They humbled him. That was a shot. Was it via Al Heyman, or was it via the network, or was it via some higher upper in PBC management or Showtime Fox? I don't know who it was, but the fix was in. And for him to say, if they don't give me Manny Pacquiao, I'm gonna use Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna fight Terrence Crawford, and they're gonna have to give him to me. So when you monopolize a division, I won't say monopolize. When you dominate a division, you can't keep everybody happy. You can't. PBC trying to keep everybody happy. Who got the most potential? Who got the most potential? You say whoever got the most potential, and it's clearly Errol Spence of the division. But they have hurt his career more than helped it. Now, could somebody else have helped it more? I don't know. If Bob Arum had Errol Spence and all them on the same side of the street, the way his shit looking this year, he might have made most of them fights by now. But in the past, Bob Arum wouldn't have made those fights. Bob Arum was the crock pot killer. He used the crock pot to a kill. He was gonna simmer. He was gonna marinate. He was gonna slow cook the shit out of some fights to the point where they weren't even appealing no more. He did shit like that. Y'all feel me? Lavin said they might put him in the ring with Danny next and rob him unless he stops him. Since they like Danny, then there's no Crawford fight, and we'll see what these protected PBC channels say after that. I'm telling you, man, like he shouldn't have said that, and it might go underlooked, but it's gonna get back to somebody. It's gonna get back to somebody. I want to see him lose in the ring. I want to see him get robbed. He saw all of a sudden Gucci bag with $250,000 sitting in your living room, young Jeff. AB told Drunk Spence to be quiet and laugh out loud on that mic saying Al paying more to report it. Yeah, he did say that. Like, you talking too much. And when AB the full voice of reason. But to me, and I'm just keeping it real, it just don't seem like they really care for Errol Spence like that. It seemed like they care for Sean Porter more. And I don't know why. It just seemed like they don't really care for Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao came, and this is a guy that slandered the names of Floyd Mayweather, who was supposed to be an investor, a quiet investor or a private investor in Premier Box Champions, a close confidant of Al Heyman. They sat here and dragged Floyd Mayweather's name through the mud. Bob Arum over the years, and still until this year, he's dragged Al Heyman's name to the mud. He don't exist. He bad for boxing. He's a cancer in boxing. He's dragged him through the mud. He sued them. They settled. He's hating on them. He's did everything to Al Heyman. He got him pushed off HBO, and then eventually Karma came back and got him. All this shit he done to Al Heyman over the years. Shit crazy. Hey Ferguson, salute. Why your boy Fred let Eddie Germ? I don't know. He was on his head. They ain't gonna invite him back. Also, Southside Boxer 601. What I see creeping in the building, man. Al Heyman had so many stars or potential stars, though. Potential, all these niggas is potential because they don't fight no fucking body. They don't fight no fucking body. But like I said before, you know, Errol Spence better be careful choosing his fucking words. Cause Jamel Charlo, that wasn't no coincidence. That was a shot. They humbled that little nigga, man. Why Floyd talked for Gervonta yesterday, it was weird. Oh, you talking about when he asked about Gary Russell? I told you, man. I don't know what Gary Russell did. Like me and Southside was saying one day, we was like, Errol Spence killed somebody. Gary Russell must have killed somebody with his bare hands in sparring. And I'm joking with all the deaths we got in boxing. I'm just a joke. But he must have did something. He must have knocked out a mule with his very fragile hands. I don't know what Gary Russell did. Tank didn't even look at the reporter. He said, "No, I'm not interested in the fight." And Floyd took the mic. Y'all notice Floyd didn't have no jewels on. That motherfucker was naked out there. He was like, he had his jacket zipped up and shit. He ain't had no ankle bracelet on like these niggas wearing now. He ain't had no jewels in Baltimore. Floyd was very aware where he was at last night. He said Gary Harrison probably hit one of them niggas' hoes. You ain't lying, bro. That he was. Hey, Floyd Mayweather went out of his way to fight Andre Berto because of a chick. That just show you how petty you can get. You know what I'm saying? That's just showing how Errol Spence must have took Floyd Mayweather chick. Motherfucker got 20 chicks to get mad somebody hit one. He's the own guy, bro. Loma the only one that went and saw that boy. He crossed the gun line, boss. Loma crossed the gun line, boss. Loma came over after loss and fought Gary Russell. He crossed the gun line, boss. I don't know what Gary Russell did. He done knocked out a pit bull, a pig, a boar. He did something, dog. Leo Santa Cruz called out Tank on short notice. Tank didn't even acknowledge Santa Cruz call out. We want to fight Tevin or Gamboa. I mean, you really sit here. You sat here and marinated Gamboa and Gervonta. You could have made that fight tonight. Neither one of them took that much punishment. I went off last night about that shit. About Floyd, I went off on Floyd last night. Watch that stream I did this morning, I went off on Floyd. Floyd is the most cancerous athlete to any sport I ever seen. Floyd is the most cancer, and all these niggas that's getting treated like little niggas, how Errol Spence is struggling, I guarantee you Floyd got something to do with that. I bet my pretty penny the reason why Errol Spence ain't got Danny, the reason he ain't got Shine, and the same reason Keith Thurman wasn't getting those fights. Besides Pacquiao, the reason why Keith Thurman never got Floyd, the reason why they never made the Paulie fight and Sean Porter got the steam rolling, the reason Keith Thurman never got the top guys. Floyd Mayweather was going to little nigga them niggas, man. Floyd Mayweather, I'm telling you, he got an integral part of hating on them niggas, man. I'm telling y'all the God honest truth, man. Gamboa tap Tank out, nigga, man. Don't let it be in Baltimore. It's gonna be a fucking riot. I believe Errol Spence. I believe the lack of Errol Spence growth on the PBC. Floyd got something to do with that. It got something to do with that sparring, I would guess. Or he must have touched one of his women or something. He must have looked at one of his women, at the Mayweather gym. This dude, Floyd Mayweather, bro. Let's talk for a minute, right? Floyd Mayweather sought out Andre Berto because he kicked it with one of his women, bro. He sought out Andre Berto because Berto allegedly, hit one of his women. Like, really? Really, bro? If it was your wife or your fiance or something like that, like one of your women, like at the end of the day, I'm still waiting on the Floyd Mayweather versus Nelly celebrity match. This nigga went out his way to fight Andre Berto over a hussy. That just show you how petty he is, bro. As much as we say Tank Davis can't grow under Floyd Mayweather, None of them niggas growing. None of them growing. None of them growing. Because you see Deontay Wilder, he was at the Dallas fight with Mikey and Errol. He shook Floyd's hand. He bowed like this and shit. They already know who they boss is. You disrespect Floyd Mayweather, your career gonna be on the shelf. That's why Errol Spence can't get those fights. I guarantee you, bro. It making sense now, dog. It makes a lot of sense. It make a lot of sense, bro. I'm surprised it ain't no Floyd Mayweather versus Nelly fight, bro. It make a ton of sense now. You connect the dots. And then hold on for a minute, dog. Let's continue to connect the dots, though. This wasn't even where I was trying to take this stream. I'm glad I had to start it over. You know what I'm saying? Ricky said, I'm waiting on Floyd versus T.I. Man, he got Floyd. Hey, man, Nelly still got his chick. Nelly a street dude, though. Nelly, you think, allegedly Tank and Broner supposed to had, put a little bit of heat on Floyd when he got popped at in Atlanta. That was supposed to be them. Nelly got street credibility in his hood, but hey, Point of View Boulevard, salute. I like that name. But come on, well, I'm gonna take it back. Remember, Jermell Charlo called out Floyd before he fought Tony Harrison. Oh man, Floyd need to come back and fight some young dudes, man. Floyd fighting all these old boxing niggas. Come fight me, Jermell Charlo. Whoop-de-whoop. I think he told that to TMZ or something. Shit, a few months later, that nigga, or a year later, that nigga was having his first loss versus Tony Harrison in the Barclays Center while he promoted the card. Like Tony said, it was a Lions only card. I'm telling you, bro, this is deeper than deep. A lot of these dudes got a dry hater above them. A lot of these dudes is following. They believe they following a foolproof system at Premier Boxing Champions. But truth be told, it's a 250 Gervonta Tank Davis is over there. He's having the Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. Man, Chris Brown probably would have put it on Soulja Boy, Big Draco. It's too. We laughing at Gervonta though. Oh, he's stupid, man. You know what Charlo say? He with Mayweather, he still ain't fighting nobody. He with Mayweather, he still ain't. And you with Mayweather too. You with Mayweather too. All them niggas can't progress because they got a dry hater on top of them. Oh, it's 250 tanks over there, bro. Floyd probably don't care about Santa Cruz getting the pass, Abner Mares getting the pass, ducking Rican Dial. He don't care about the Hispanics. Like you remember in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z had a little racial build to it. If you ever paid attention to Dragon Ball Z, really it was slavery, right? If you can apply Dragon Ball Z to the current state of black people, right? They was living like savages on planet Vegeta, but they had all this potential. Even though the Saiyans on planet Vegeta didn't see their potential, they didn't believe their potential, or nothing like that. They were strong. They go to the planet, take over, blase blah this. But it was one nigga that seen their potential in Frieza. Out of all the many planets in his galaxy, he seen the potential in the Saiyans. He said, you know what? If these niggas start working together and they start actually, getting out their own way and they start living civilized and if they get a clear vision, they gonna fuck me up. They gonna be able to take me out. It's gonna take one of them to be able to take me out, let alone the whole planet of them. He had to take that planet out. Now Floyd Mayweather just can't go and take it out, but secretly, he keeping them. He oppressing them. He's oppressing them. He making sure they don't grow. He making sure they don't grow. That's a step up for him right now. He should fight him and him. He said it before with Errol Spence, and they said, "What about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford?" Oh, we ain't doing that fight right now. We got to build it up. Look how he moving Tank. They just marinated a Gamboa fight potentially. Look at him talking about Tevin Farmer pay-per-view fight. You can see the influence. Pacquiao Broner pay-per-view fight. Mikey Errol pay-per-view fight. Keith Broner pay-per-view. Errol Spence, Sean Porter pay-per-view. You can see the influence. You can see there's parallels running from what Gervonta Tank Davis is doing and what some of the other PBC fighters around him are doing. That's why AB be acting out. AB is like AB is like, I can't really put like just a character on AB. AB is the realest nigga out of there. AB know the game. AB know Floyd that nigga. And AB hate, he worth millions. Hey, AB just hate being around Floyd because he know what Floyd is doing ain't right. AB know the integral parts of how PBC work. He don't like the politics about it. He knows it's a game. AB know Mayweather. He was the first nigga to figure it out. He was the first to go through it. He knew Mayweather was never gonna let him be what he wanted to be. And that's why AB ventured off and said, I'm fighting Madonna. I ain't listening to them. And when he lost, Floyd said he shouldn't deviate from the plan. He should follow the plans they got for him. But AB knew from the beginning, once he started, they had Floyd mentoring him. He knew Floyd did not want him to be better than him. Even though it probably never was going to happen. But he knew being Floyd little nigga, he was always going to keep the nigga at a distance like this. He was never going to let the nigga be eye level with him. And Errol Spence need to figure that out. Gervonta has already figured that out. All of them need to figure that out. They're being oppressed, and either they know it and they're keeping it just under the radar. Because how does Pacquiao come over there and get seniority after he shitted on Floyd Mayweather's name? He pissed on Floyd Mayweather's name. He shitted on Al Heyman's name. He shitted on De La Hoya's name. He come over there and he transcends. You would think that Floyd Mayweather would be trying to feed him to the wolves. Okay, give him Broner, and then we'll walk him into an Errol Spence fight. Notice what he said Saturday. Jim Gray asked him, is you coming back? He said, it's undetermined right now. This is Gervonta Tank Davis Day. Me and Leonard, we building the pay-per-view star. You know what I'm saying? Jerry James. Shakir Steve's gonna pass Floyd. AB is real. CJ. Yeah, I mean, he might try to stop him, but he got James Prince. James Prince used to tie up the TMT money team. He used to tie them up in the hotel room and tie Floyd to the chair and beat all them niggas, man. That's real stories out there about James Prince. When niggas from New York go, oh, James Prince don't have no jurisdiction in New York. No mob ties. Go ask Floyd Mayweather. Pound for pound, one of the almost top fighters back then. Had Floyd allegedly tied up in the hotel room and beating the hell out of his team. That's why you see his team switch so much. James Prince was putting the Beats by Dre on the TMT on the Filthy Rich record crew. Real talk. He's a Larry said Crawford has zero chance to fight any of these PBC welterweights. Oh, we already know. And then if you pay attention what they be doing, they'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you the truth. They'll tell you the truth in increments and doses. It might be a little rinky-dink interview with this guy or a little good interview with this guy, but they'll tell you the truth. Hey, you know what? Why you think they doing that, bro? Why you think it ain't just about Terrence Crawford becoming a megastar with Bob Arum and catapulting Bob Arum? They don't even want the guys they got to be. Floyd don't want to be surpassed. Floyd don't want to have to come out of retirement and fight one of these young dudes, man. Because his ego, once somebody start getting a shine, why ain't nobody a PBC shine yet, bro? Why ain't nobody say, oh, man, that's the nigga that's going to be the face of PBC? Ain't no face of PBC right now. You got Wilder, you got Spence. They the face of our fandom. We put those dudes on the pedestal. We put them on the pedestal. But in the real world, ain't nobody really stepped up and became the face of boxing. Manny Pacquiao still be the face of boxing. Or Canelo should, as far as the PBC side. Errol Spence should have assumed his position on the throne. Keith Thurman should have had his shot at the throne, but he went away. Deontay Wilder should have assumed his position on the throne. And we can get to Wilder too. We can go back to ancient history. Qing Fang Hai. We go back to the Qing dynasty. Why did Al Heyman make Anthony Joshua champion? I say it again. Why did Al Heyman make Anthony Joshua a champion? Huh? Huh? And why did Errol Spence have to go over to Sheffield? I heard Al Heyman had the money for a title defense to go down versus Kell Brook in the United States. Is he trying to set these dudes up for failure? Because Deontay Wilder should be IBF WBC champion right now. When Charles Martin beat Glowacki, I don't think he even came back yet. Whatever his name was. And that phantom knockdown, he tore his ACL. Charles Martin, Deontay Wilder should have been made. That fight should have been made. Am I lying? Deontay Wilder would have beat Charles Martin. Yet though, Al Heyman took the IBF and gave it to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn turned the IBF. He stretched a little cocaine and baking soda, and he turned it into some motherfucking money. He stretched it. He stretched the IBF to the Super WBA versus Klitschko. He stretched the Super WBA. He Heisman stiff arm Luis Ortiz. He stiff armed Luis Ortiz. Then he failed the drug test. Then he turned into the WBO. He turned the IBF. Al Heyman gave him the lighter. He had the lighter fluid. Al Heyman gave him the match lit, and he turned it. And he turned the division upside down, and it gave him breath to go over to the zone and create the zone. This nigga Al Heyman is breathing life into superstars, but ain't breathed no life into his own stars yet. Pay attention to that, man. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. At the end of the day, really? But was it worth it? Was the $7 million worth it? Was the $7 million worth it? You found $20 million to get Pacquiao, bro. You found 50. You got $20 million to get Triple G to come tune up. Pay attention, bro. And you couldn't give Charles Martin $7 million or come close. And they guarantee Manny Pacquiao $1 million pay-per-view purse. $1 million buy pay-per-view purse. It came out of Bob Aaron's mouth. That $20 million was a $1 million purse for $1 million pay-per-view buys. Pay attention, bro. This shit deep, man. They paying the Philippine all this money. You know what I'm saying? They come up here and fight. They was willing to pay Triple G $20 million to tune up, and probably another $15-20 to fight Jamal Charlo. Why they ain't pay the brother Charles Martin $7 million? What's $7 million to 20? That ain't what nothing but what? 30%? The ramifications of that. Anybody see Anthony Joshua as star quality? Al Heyman gave Anthony Joshua his start as a champion when he could have turned around and gave that to Deontay Wilder. But they ain't believe in Wilder. Al Heyman helped create Eddie Hearn. He gave him the IBF belt versus Sean Porter. You know. Kamada beat Jamie McDowell twice. I know once in Corpus Christi, Texas, excuse me. They the reason Broner act the way he act, bro. They the reason he act the way he act, man. Broner is woke. I don't hate to say it. Broner is woke. Broner is a standout individual. And the only reason Broner's still rolling on PBC is because he's from Ohio. They could have made Wilder a unified champion versus Charles Martin. And at that time, Deontay was fighting like on NBC or some shit like that. That would have been two black champions on TV. They just, like I said before, man. And at the time in the moment, we really didn't look at it to be that big of a thing. But now, that was what, 5-6 years ago, if that. Now that turned out to be Eddie Hearn golden ticket. And then Eddie Hearn holding his nuts on Al Heyman. Eddie Hearn like, he obliterated Al Heyman and he getting humbled. He lost 4 belts, I count this year. 3 with Ruiz and 1 versus Hooker. Versus Ramirez, excuse me. And obviously he came and went. And Al Hammond eventually came back and got each one of those belts. It remains to be seen if he can keep them. Ruiz. But then again, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We would have got AJ versus Wilder. But like I said before, it's always a detriment. It's always a bad side to no matter what you do. Al Hammond reminds me of President Barack Obama. You know, he reminds me of President Barack Obama. Barack Obama was black, but some white people liked him, some white people didn't. So let me say that right now. Right? But the consensus was that he was a pro-Negro president, right? Oh, he gonna do all this for black people and Obama and all of that. And the fact of the matter is he did very little for black people in general. But the consensus was, General Appendix, salute, long time no see. The consensus was he did everything for black. Oh, he doing this for the people, but really he didn't do a lot for black people, and that wasn't his job. His job was not to mess it up for the next brother to get opportunity. That's how I looked at it. But you know what? Al Hammond get the same rap. Al Hammond get he's a black guy. He do all this for black fighters, but truly, what has he really done for his black fighters? I don't know. Al Hammond do see it's an interview. It's a documentary about his Jay James. He said why he don't do interviews, secrecy. But it's a documentary about his mentor, Clarence Avant. I think his name is. Somebody sent it to me on Instagram. It's on Netflix. I'm gonna watch it tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I don't know. I ain't really been to sleep since last night. I got a little bit of sleep, so I might watch it. I'm gonna do a video on it, and I'm gonna crank up the Patreon back up. Y'all give me a minute though. But I forgot who sent me this shit. Yeah, my Rock'em Soccer on Instagram. It's called his name Clarence Avant. They got a documentary. It's Al Hammond's mentor. He was in the music business as well. So if you want to watch something on there, I just got done watching. I watched Batman Begin like a week ago. I watched The Dark Knight, and then I just got done watching The Dark Knight Rises. That was sweet. I prefer the Dark Knight trilogy more than the Avengers. The Avengers is just too fruity for me. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, you can say, look here, man. At the end of the day, you can say Al got people paid, and that's the main thing about it. But who got legacy? Since PBC started, where's this star? Who got legacy? Who got real clout? Fuck money. Who got clout? Who got legacy? How many Hall of Famers do PBC got legitimately? In your opinion, depending on what your credentials for the Hall of Fame is, how many people in PBC got Hall of Fame? How many stars have they really built under this banner? What big star? Deontay Wilder's the only one I could think of. Who really bubbled? Who really popped? Who became a universal star? Wilder's the only guy, and that's the very same guy they tried to oppress. That's the very same guy they put more effort in Sam Mitchell. They probably would have put more. They would have put more money in Charles Martin. You know, and you got to ask yourself, why didn't they sell Deontay Wilder belt to Anthony Joshua when he got it? Since Deontay Wilder couldn't fucking fight, you know, Anthony Joshua was talking shit. He ain't that good. Why didn't he sell Wilder belt over there for $7 million to Anthony Joshua? Why did Charles Martin get to go over there and take a lashing on the backside? And you just got to ask yourself a lot of questions, man. And like I was saying about the Obama thing, Al Hammond get the stamp of being a pro-black person, but really he pro-green. Al Hammond has done way more for Hispanic fighters than he did for nigger fighters or Negro fighters. Excuse me. It's like Slave Master for a minute, dog. You know, he did more for Negro fighters, man. Real talk. Leo Santa Cruz right then and there. You name me a black fighter, he done more for than as much for Leo Santa Cruz, not named Floyd Mayweather. Be real shit. Leo Santa Cruz, come on, man. This nigga's untouchable. They just built their pockets, no Hall of Famers. But Deontay. Al Hammond, C. Green. Who else you got out there, man? I'm trying to think who else he got out there. I can't really think of. He got so many fighters out there. He ain't really did shit for Lara. Lara got shots in here and there, but I feel that they could have did more for Lara. He Lara versus Paul Williams. He really ain't did shit, man. And I'm just keeping it real, man. He do more for them Hispanic fighters. He did a lot for Ohio boys. He did a lot for them. Easter, Rasheed Warren, Broner. He done a lot for them. Don't get me twisted. He done a lot for them. Them and Mayweather and Birdo probably exempt. He done a lot for them. But really, it's just like he see green, and it's a bad side to everything you do. Because if you just see pro black, then you're missing out on the Hispanic side of money. And the Hispanic money, it runs boxing. Boxing runs on the Hispanic dollar. You know what I'm saying? Even though we believe it run on the black dollar, and it should. If it ran on the black dollar, it'd be a more universal sport. And it would run on the white dollar if they had a white fighter to showcase in boxing, which Caleb Plant, he maybe can be that guy. But really, boxing flows on the Hispanic dollar, not the UK dollar, because it flows on the Hispanic dollar because the Mexican people can get to America and they can play American prices. In the UK, it's a price set. You only can make so you only can charge £20 for pay per view. You only can charge a certain amount for a seat. That's why Eddie Hearn was using StubHub to run up the prices. He was using StubHub to double and triple up the seats to make more money. Where he found the loophole, and then they caught on to his loophole. You know. So like A13 salute. He said, Text said, y'all realize Wilder been the WBC champion for 4 years and has 10 title defenses. He deserves better. I didn't even know it was that long. Gotta watch Django after that, y'all. Man, I watch Django all the time. That bitch should come on anyway. Batman Forever is my favorite of all of them. Yeah, I like Batman Forever. That shit was dope. Dark Knight for me, dog. Oh man, shit. That motherfucker gave his life. Heath Ledger gave his life. He played it. Somebody else had a question. I missed it. I want to go back and get it. I want to go back. I can't find it. Oh, yeah, go right here. He said, Sean said Dante Boxing Nation did a video 2 days ago and said his sources said Pacquiao Thurman did over 600,000 pay-per-view. That's what he said. It could be. He got more reach than I do. I would imagine it should have done something like that. Yeah, for them to offer Triple G 20 million was blasphemy. That's what I'm saying. They got the money to offer them, man. But at the end of the day, the cancellation prize for not being a star is getting paid. And at the end of the day, when you got a core fan base that that's going to watch a fight every Saturday night, pay-per-view Fox, pay-per-view Showtime, or whatever the situation may be, when you got a situation where you got some people you gonna, I know if we this guy fight, we gonna do at least 2 million on Fox. I know if this guy fight on Showtime, we just gonna do 600,000. When you comfortable with your numbers, you don't take chances. And that's where boxing, that's what PBC is at. The truth be told, Top Rank and the Zone took more chances than PBC this year. And I don't mean working, I mean just straight chances. The Honey and the unification bout. They sent Hooker over to fight Flanagan to the UK. They sent Hooker over to Top Rank to fight Cesados. They sent Ramirez over to the Zone to fight Hooker. They took more chances. They took more chances than anything. Danny Jacobs and Canelo, that was a chance they didn't have to really take. You know what I'm saying? They took more chances than anybody else in boxing between the Zone and ESPN and PBC. All they can say is, I'm getting paid, I'm getting money. At the end of the day, money is the root of all evil, and money is the biggest topic. But at the end of the day, you aren't fulfilled. You can get all these millions, but really, are you fulfilled? You just ate a good meal, or are you really full though? Was it enough food for your liking? Because when you look at it, you're going to be a forgotten fighter. No classic fights, minimum unification bouts. You didn't fight Keith Thurman, or you didn't get the chance to fight Floyd Mayweather. You didn't fight Manny Pacquiao. Really, all it takes is one bad night, and your shit is stopped. Now they ready to throw you away. Now you done lost your title. Now they saying you done. Now they saying you a vegetable. Now they saying, oh, he really wasn't that good to begin with. Who did he really beat? A lot of people on Premier Boxing Champions, I'm just talking about them, they don't have no substance. They don't have no substance. And I can go through their fighters. Danny Garcia got substance at 140. That was a long time ago. But really at 147, what's his substance been the last 2 or 3 years? A Guerrero, Paulie, he don't have no substance. Sean Porter beating up Granados, a draw with Julio Diaz, losing to Keyshawn. Using the Kill, losing to Keith. Where is his substance at? He steamrolled Paulie. Where's his substance at? Errol Spence, just Kell Brook. He been living off Kell Brook and beating up a lightweight Mikey. Where's his substance at? Go back and look at Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao career, Sugar Ray Leonard career, Tommy Hearn career, and look at the substance they have by some of these dudes' ages. Sugar Ray Robinson, Archie Moore, Jersey Joe Walcott. Go look at some of these dudes. Jake LaMotta probably too. Carlos Monzon, Marvin Hagler. By the time they get to these 29, 30, they have no substance, bro. None. The Charlos, no substance. You got all this Al and money behind you, but you don't have one career-defining fight. No substance. Yeah, Wilder been champ since January 2015. I picked against him in that fight too. I thought Thurman was gonna get him. I didn't know Wilder can box that good, man. I think a lot of people was with me on that one. CJ, remember at the end of the when Bruce Wayne asked the Riddler, Jim Carrey, who was Batman, he said, "I am Batman." Jim Carrey was wild. Yeah, Jim Carrey was crazy. You ain't lying though. Jim Carrey was crazy in that motherfucking man. Hey, ain't that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger was the super Sub-Zero? Because I remember back in the day, Batman Forever, they had the motherfucking they had the freeze pops. That was a huge movie back in with the 90s. That was a 90s movie. That was a huge movie. Yeah, at the time, that was my favorite. And a lot of people don't know that Mick from Rocky, he was the original Batman, I think, or he was the original Joker or Riddler, one of the three. You know what I'm saying? Mick from Rocky, he was the Riddler, the Joker, or one of them. He said, I knew Wilder was going to win. I ain't know, man. Stavern had just knocked out Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola stayed again his ass. I like Arreola, though. He was just a lazy motherfucker, man. PBC should invest all on Wilder. Man, Floyd Mayweather bring a fucking shotgun into the offices. He'll bring a shotgun into the offices. He'd do that. Patman was already Hall of Fame by the age of Spence, Thurman. Yeah, and Floyd. Now, Roy Jones had a long list of beating the hell out of some bum-ass niggas. But once he fought Bernard, or once he fought James Toney, it was over with. You know, Michael Nunn, he had 30-something fights. He did. Michael Nunn had 30-something fights before he got a title shot, but he was considered pound for pound right after that. Number one. You know, we could pull up a few dudes' resumes, man. We pull up a few dudes' resumes, man. Hold on. I'm on the wrong shit. See, if I use what you call that shit? If I use Google Chrome on my phone on BoxRec, it won't it'll get a pop up and shit. But if you use the Brave downloader, it's BRAVE. You don't get that with Brave. Brave is a crazy firewalls, and Brave is the best web browser as far as just like firewalls and defenses and pop-ups and shit. And it show you how many pop-ups it blocked too, man. It's a little lion is the emblem if y'all looking for it. I got Samsung, so I'm on the Google Play Store. And they got amateur records too on BoxRec now. I don't know. It must have been years in the making. But he turned pro, Sugar Ray. He turned pro in 77. Okay. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought Al Heyman's brother in 78. He retired. Him. He fought Floyd Mayweather in 78 too. All right. He fought Roberto Benitez in 79. So 2 years into his professional career, a little bit over 2 years, almost 3 years, if you count by months, he had already fought Roberto Benitez for the WBC title. So that's a better win than Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, any of them dudes got. You know, and he He turned pro in 77. Then in in 70 and in 80, he lost to Duran. So 3 years to his career, he had already fought Benitez, and he fought Duran twice. He beat Duran the second time. He made him quit. And then 4 years into his career, he had already beat Thomas Hearns in like the 13th or 14th round. So pretty much then he took some time off because Tommy Hearns kind of hurt his eye. But in the first 4 years of Sugar Ray Leonard's career, Tommy Hearns, 2 fights with Roberto Duran and Rafael Benitez, and I believe all those young men are Hall of Famers. All those dudes are Hall of Famers. He had those fights. He had those fights in a. Let me just tell you this: one in a 3 year span, he had those fights. 2 year span, excuse me, 79, 80. Trying to count the months. Like a 3 year span, count the months. He fought all those dudes. 79, 80, 80. The year 80, and then 81. Like damn. Damn. That's like I really just looking at that shit, man, that's major. That's a major key, bro. Real talk, that's a major key. You know, that's stupid, man. And Tommy turned pro in 77 too. He had a little longer road. He took a lot more fights. I don't know who his promoter was, but he took a lot more fights. But his first world title fight, he fought for the WBA, but his first real recognizable title was first Ray Leonard. He lost, and then he ended up beating Rafael Benitez in a majority decision in '82. Then he ended up knocking out Duran in '84. Then he lost to Hagler in '85. He lost to Iran Berkeley in '88. I know a lot of niggas was mad about that shit. He had a draw with Ray Leonard in '89. That was way past their primes with the first fight. Then he lost to Iran Berkeley again. He beat Virgil Hill. He had a really good career too, man. But a lot of these dudes, a lot of these guys have now, and a lot of these guys have now, money takes precedence over legacy. Legacy don't even matter. You don't hear nobody talking about, I want the legacy fights, I want the big fight. Everybody's just getting paid now. And Al Heyman kind of put money into boxing like Master P put money into rap. But it also had its detriment, and it killed the craft of boxing. Why did boxing go from 15-12 fighter safety? Same thing with same day weigh-ins. Same day weigh-ins was too dangerous for the fighter safety. Has Pacquiao ever been the best in any division he's been in? Because we know he's the catchweight king. I have to really go back and look at his career, but it is what it is. He said, Tax said Floyd been hating on Wilder since the beginning. E-Man East, what's going on? Any idea of boxing hire for Dana White? Man, it might be fucking Al Heyman. I doubt it, but that's what our first thought was. Can you put the web browser in the chat? I've been having some pop-up problems. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I still gotta clean this carpet. This dog shit, man. Her old ass. Miles, he on punishment. He chewed up my fucking piston hat. I'm beating his ass. I didn't beat his ass yet. I'm probably gonna forget. I'm probably gonna straight up forget. He been outside all day. I done bought ice cream. Nigga didn't watch, Batman. I done left, pre-ordered Madden, came back, watched the rest of Batman. That nigga know not to bango that fucking dough today. No, Batman Forever had Two-Face and the Riddler. They were good combination against Batman. And Batman and Robin movie had Mr. Freeze and George Clooney played. He was the worst Batman ever. Yeah, he was. Michael Keaton was straight. Anybody see the Bud Crawford design? I heard about it. I didn't see it. I heard that it was about PBC not recognizing the belt no more. Bomac kind of got them looking desperate, but I mean, I'd rather be desperate for big fights than not. But he not on the same accord. Crawford want legacy. You know what? They can't fulfill Crawford pockets because Crawford is already a fulfilled man because he went. He know what it feel like to be a bottom feeder. He know what it feel like to make 1,000 or 10,000 a fight or 20,000 a fight. Remember, he been professional since 2007. He was a sparring partner in the beginning. So he didn't have a pageantry that a lot of these dudes had coming out, man. You know, AB had about 10 fights, whatever. And then he got put on with Al and Golden Boy. Crawford had a lot of fights coming in, I think, or a lot of he just was tough. You know, it's tough for him, man. He had the hard way up, so unfortunately, he looking for legacy. He one of the very few fighters out there, Deontay, Terrence, that's looking for legacy. And I can't say Canelo looking for legacy as well, too, because of the timeline on his health. You know, I heard, Canelo's looking for legacy. You like it or not. Deontay is looking for legacy. Terrence is looking for legacy. But who else is out here looking for legacy for real? Really, maybe Lomachenko looking to unify and he want to fight Tank. He looking for legacy. A lot of guys that's pushing the clock is looking for legacy. But if you push for legacy early on in your career, if you push for legacy early on, then you can cruise on the back end. But everybody want to cruise on the front end and then, but you know what? Another thing, and I said this last night, and I ain't drunk no liquor in a long time, so I wasn't drunk last night. I know exactly what I said. One thing I did notice about what Floyd did. Floyd made it where not no prominent fighter in a prominent weight class ever gonna get 50 fights again. Floyd has made it where one or two fights, everybody say fighter safety, and ain't enough. Hey, Floyd then made it where he ain't got to worry about a fighter get to 50-0. He ain't got to worry about that. Floyd Mayweather made it where you lucky if you get 50 fights in your career. You may not get 50 fights. Neutral natural salute. You may not get 50 fights. Fuck 50-0. You may not get 50 fights using this 1 or 2 fight year model. So if you fight for 10 years and you only fight an average of 2 times a year, that's only 20 fights. And let's say you front ran your beginning of your career, you put another 10 on, that's only 30 fights. You'll never get to 50 fights as a welterweight or a lightweight or a bantamweight with PBC. You'll never get to 50 fights, heavyweight. What Deontay Wilder did, it probably never be duplicated again. That nigga was fighting like every week at one point. Crawford fight Ingus next, I heard. I think that's the reason why they enacted so they won't beat his record. I'm telling you, a lot of stuff started to make sense, C4. A lot of stuff I'm starting to make. Gervonta Tank Davis ain't the only one that's trapped under the hood. Canelo body breaking now. He a young dude, but he got a lot of miles. He younger than Errol, but he a vet. Yeah, he been pro. He been draining his body to make weight that he shouldn't be trying to make. All that come up and catch. Look at James Toney. It's the reason James Toney slurring. James Toney was 205 pounds, a collegiate, a highly sought after collegiate football player. They squoze him down to middleweight. And you think that's a 45-pound cut? Jaime Guia might break that 55 shit. He might be the only one. He might be, but he was fighting like he got a nice little base. He was fighting like at the zone to keep you active if you want to. Tevin Farmer was like on his 6-7 fight in the last 2 years. But yeah, I got any questions before I log off? I don't even know how long I nigga been on. I've been on. Ever been on. I would have been done by now. If the original stream didn't break down, we'd have been done. Shout out to Heavy Hitter. Salute, bro. I got some questions, man. This is a nice little stream, man. I'm glad I did end up coming back doing. I had to reset the modem. I'm gonna chop a few videos up because that Madden come out tomorrow, baby. I said I wasn't gonna do it. I said I wasn't gonna get Madden, but I end up going to pre-order that shit anyway. I don't know. It got dislikes. I don't even be paying attention to the dislikes, dog. I don't. They all get their homeboys to come over here and dislike the video. They like that's gonna bother me. A no dislike is better. A dislike is better than no dislike. No, I heard Lil B Hop only want to fight once or twice a year. I heard he only want to fight once and twice a year, so that's him. But yeah, keep asking the questions. I got a little time. I'm gonna chop a couple of videos up for tomorrow. So it's Madden time, baby. When I get some free time, I can play my Madden. Yeah, I got the $80 version. I don't even know what come. I just know it come out tomorrow. I should just wait till Thursday, but I might not have time. So this weekend, what you got coming up? Oh, you got Adam Konauki versus you got Konauki versus fucking Chris Arreola at the Barclays Center. I'm kind of excited for that fight. I am. And then you got Paddy Gallagher versus Chris Jenkins on ESPN Plus. It's in Ireland. And Mick Collins in Ireland. Konauki and Arreola, Brown and Pascal, John Pascal, Yuck. Andre Berto versus Miguel Cruz. Curtis Stevens is fighting. Also, junior middleweight. Heather Hardy is fighting. Carlos Negron and Brian Howard is fighting. So it's a real soft football. Boxing weekend ain't really shit popping. The next good card. If you like Visual Ortiz, he headlined the card in Grand Prairie, Texas, on the zone, August 10th. But it's gonna be some weeks without it ain't no fights. And Manuel Navarez, he coming back. I didn't know that he coming back in Los Angeles August 17th. I want to do town though they doing that card out there, but real shit, it ain't no really solid cards. You got an FS1 in the zone card. Juan Estrada fighting Dwayne Beeman. I gotta take a look at Dwayne Beeman. Figueroa fighting Javier Nicholas. But Kovalev and August 24th is the next big fight week. You got Figueroa, Juan Estrada, Brandon Figueroa fighting on FS1 in Edinburgh, Texas, in the title eliminator. Juan Estrada fighting on the zone versus Dwayne Beeman. Um, Kovalev and Anthony Yarde on ESPN Plus and BT Sports. So that's the next August 24th, the next solid date, and then the next Saturday after that, August 31st, is Lomachenko taking on Luke Campbell, and Caleb Truex and Peter Quiller rematch at the technical draw. Arizona Lara fighting Canelo brother Ramon Alvarez, and then that's on Fox. That's a Fox card they got August 28th. So you got ESPN Plus, Lomachenko and Luke Campbell. Same night running Fox in Minnesota with Truex and Peter Quillen, Lara and Ramon Alvarez, Canelo brother. You got Jeff Horn taking on Michael Zafra in Australia. That is a middleweight fight. And I'm just trying to go through the fights. Devin Haney fighting September 13th on his own. So, like, shit, it'd be a minute till we get another. The next major fight is going to be Errol Spence and Shine Porter. So boxing kind of slowing down a little bit, man. Who's Danny Garcia fighting next? I'm not sure. With T.O. on the cover, 2K5, yeah. I don't play 2K5, but that shit was the best one. I remember my boy had that shit on PlayStation 2, and we took it up to the church for the summer program. Somebody stole this shit out the church. That's how I knew the church wasn't shit back then. The haters gonna say anything though, yeah. How do you think PBC would handle Crawford's career if he signed with them? They getting him a whole bunch of money. Probably still won't be no fights. Who's Danny Garcia fighting next? Samuel Crouton. I don't know. Sean says. Sean Torrance say, "Will you be out here for Cali for Spence Porter?" I might try to make both of them, but I'm gonna try to make Porter and Spence. I might try to make both of them, but I gotta turn around and probably go to Georgia in December. So it's gonna be busy. I'm gonna try to make it to the Bud and Omaha fight in November. But Turby and Ghostvik, I'm gonna try to make a few fights down the stretch. I'm gonna try to make my 5-fight minimum this year. So I'm gonna try to get out to Cali at least once. I like your new setup. Have you thought about getting something that can give you camera shots from different angles? Yeah, like Sling TV or something like that. Yeah, possibly. I'll think about it. That's a good investment. Yard and Kovalev's the next good fight coming up. Yep. What happened to Boots Ennis? He got promotional issues. He's still training and shit. Follow him on Twitter. He on Twitter. Boxing YouTube channels are having better quality. Oh, different angles. Neutral natural odds will rarely be a big fight in August. I don't know. I guess everybody want to enjoy their summer. I guess. Kovalev and Yard, what's going down? It's in Russia. Russia. Boots top rank. No, Boots ain't top rank. His manager, his promoter was a manager for Top Rank though. He's kind of like the Al Hammond, Cameron Duncan. I think that was one of his promoters. When do you think we gonna see Crawford and Spence? I wouldn't bet on it. Probably next year, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I'll talk to a few people who don't think it's gonna happen. But if y'all got some more questions, I'll answer them for a few more minutes. Yeah, I ask a few more minutes. Then I'm gonna do a few videos. Somebody was telling me about a Devin Haney interview where Bob Arum told him he ain't getting Lomachenko. You got grown fighters. Um, you got grown fighters that's scared to fight these young guys, and that's the reason a lot of these young guys they grew up and they turn they don't give opportunities out because it wasn't given to them. Now, Ennis not with PBC. Ennis is just what he just fight on Showtime for now. Spence gonna fight Danny after he beat Porter. I believe so too. Guard might pull a Donna Stevenson, Dawson type KO on Kovalev. That's just weird feeling. It might. He do, man. We gonna put him on the pedestal. It's the only Anthony from the UK we like. It's the only. I like Tunji Ajayi, man. Speak it, believe it, become. I fuck with him, man. He a real cool cat, man. A lot of people don't like him. I like that. I like Cuz. Google Hangout in the 31st. You can use regular YouTube. YouTube got its own stream. But pretty much that's it. You know, unless you got a computer. You can do a Streamlab, OBS. That shit complicated, man. You gotta have a good computer for some of the shit. These setups that we use, you gotta have a really good computer. You can't have no bullshit. How much is it going to cost to Bud to leave time? I don't know. I mean, if his contract up next year and they can get out of it and walk out clean, then ain't no point of buying it out. Mayweather and Pacquiao dug Thurman. Thurman didn't give Spence that chance because, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Danny not gonna fight Spence. If Spence demolish Porter, if the money right, if they do good pay-per-views, he will. Because Danny ain't been on pay-per-view yet. That was a good thing about him fighting Mikey. But these fools, PBC really about to have 6 pay-per-views this year. They had Adrian and Pacquiao. They had Mikey and Spence. They had Thurman and Pacquiao. That's 3. Now they gonna have Sean and Errol. Provide everybody stay healthy. That's 4, right? Yeah, Wilder Ortiz too. I heard some news about that. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow today as well. Let me write that down. Heard some news about that. Wilder Ortiz too. That's gonna be. And then they might try to do Tank and Tevin. I think Tevin contract up with his own, according to his promoter Lou DiBella. So they might try to do all that. So yeah. Danny only spoke Spence's name after he saw the revenue from Mikey fight. They gonna fight next. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, let me get off here. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Glad I came back and was able to finish it up. I had to reboot my internet modem, man. So I gotta remember to do that on Sundays, or it's usually kind of etchy. The cable boxes reboot itself, but not the modem. That's funny, but hey, appreciate it. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Helpblaze, thehelpblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow in box to get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Lotion soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pod, babe, much more. Website, promo code, description. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love support. One time for the one time.